Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Ipswich Buses Matchday pre-game show live. I'm, of course, your host, Martin the Governor Lambert, and I'm excited to bring you this Matchday show this evening. Obviously, taking on Wycombe away, a place we haven't won. Only ever had two fixtures with Wycombe, both ending in draws. Is that the blueprint for this evening? Is it going to end in a draw? If so, would that be a result that you'd be happy with? As a Town fan, obviously that would still keep the 11 points between us and third, which is Wycombe, or is it must-win territory already? I'd love to hear from you and from the contributors as well when I do bring them in. It's obviously an important game, a good game to measure ourselves against opposition that are going to be a tough opposition and are going to be, whether we like them for their footballing ability or not, going to be there or thereabouts come May. So this could potentially be a playoff tie if Town get their act together. This could potentially just be one of only two fixtures we play this year with them. It remains to be seen. Let's get a few comments. Jason Clayton, just in the team sheet, pre-attacking team. Probably the team we thought would be our starting 11 all season. Yes, obviously KVY returns. Rob Smith. And another comment about attacking lineup. Our defence stays strong tonight. He hopes our defence stays strong. Stuart's in the room. Welcome in. Harry, Bod the Nod. Eddie Spaghetti, Simon Wall. Good evening, Simon. Hope you and Nicky okay. Evening, could be the wine, but I'm buzzing. Simon, pass the wine. Do not hog it all to yourself. Is it white? Is it red? Is it rosé? It's important to know this information as we proceed through the evening. I've got some beautiful away day beers just there on the screen. Look, lined up for proceedings. It will never get as good, but the old Hoppy Robson is a firm favourite in the Lambert household. Chris Boyd, evening all big job for KV and Coulson to contain the Wycombe threat all night long. Brandon Chapman had some back issues last week. I'm sure he is managing the injury. Rob Holmes, good evening all. Massive game tonight. Hopefully 3 points to the Town. I hope Edwards finds his shooting boots tonight to give himself a bit of confidence. Absolutely. Join the confidence. I'm sure he will deliver tonight because watching him will be none other than the man who oozes positivity, has anything but nice things to say about everything and anyone. It is, of course, Mr. Positivity.
Wake up to the, wow. Wake up to the money, turn me right on. You look like you got dressed with no lights on. I'm Superman that spin like a cyclone. Fit check, spin like a cyclone. Wake up to the money, turn me right on.
Yeah, but we're crap. We're not going to dominate any team.
How we hope that's not the case this evening. Mr. Moles, welcome in. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
I would let you know after the game.
Well, this is it. We've got a comment in the chat here. Blue Soap, statement win required. How do you feel as we go into tonight's game against Wycombe, third place, 11 points ahead of us? Is a statement win required tonight?
I'm not sure about a statement win, but at the very least, don't lose to them.
Yeah, as I said, sort of the show, a point. Would a point be all things considered a good job, or is it must-win territory?
I don't think I need to push us into the must-win territory, even though, as was mentioned before we went live, the falling 14 points behind them is dire stuff.
Absolutely. Particularly this early in the campaign already. You know, it's a mountain to climb almost.
Yeah, I know there's lots of people out there that will view it that the season ends when it, we've got a while till the season ends, so we've still got time.
Matt saying, how you feeling, Gov? Something full of cold. Matt, I am actually fucking full of cold, man. Literally, you can see it's pouring out of me pores, Neil. I cannot contain the seepage. I'm hoping the away day beers liquid volume can keep up and I can replenish the dehydration as we go. Have you got anything in your wonderful Premier Inn there or whatever hotel you're in that can keep you going through the evening? Or is it solely the football that's going to be the one that's going to keep you awake come 10?
I've got a nice coffee.
Absolutely the way
strong
forward.
one.
But I think Simon's winning at live. He's got a nice crisp white wine while waiting for his kebab. Filth mixed Donny chili sauce. Okay, lovely. Ben Moore had a bloody math exam today, so I'm grateful for Talking Town family and to you governing this all. No, never in doubt, my man. Mike the Fisherman must win. We can't keep drawing and losing to the teams. Well, every good centre half needs a partner, and every good contributor needs a partner. And this man here, he has got the best one that money could buy. Well, the budget was zero, so we ended up getting Tomo. Steve the Hammer Thompson. Welcome in, man. How you doing?
I'm not bad. Yourself?
Not too bad, buddy. Just full of cold, literally. Let's just pouring out of me.
Nice.
Must win, mustn't lose. What's the state of play as we head into the fixture tonight for you, Mr. Thompson?
It's got to be a must win, isn't it? Especially after Saturday. You know, if it was a draw or a win on Saturday, I'd say, okay, yeah, it's not a must win, but this is a must win for sure now.
It's certainly a good chance to judge ourselves, isn't it, against a team, as I was saying at the top of the show, that will be, whether you like them or not, whether you like their style or not, they will be there or thereabouts come May. You would have thought inside the top 7, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, whether like Plymouth, whether they'll keep this form up or not, I don't know. But they're not exactly going to drop down the table. So, yeah, they're going to be there or thereabouts.
We certainly will be. Chris Boyd, to show we are contending with 8 points in this block of 5 games. This is top 6 sides, 15 points available. Need to get is half of them. We blew it on Saturday, so now need 8 from 4. Do you agree with that comment, Neil? Or do you think actually you're playing catch up already? So any points you concede to this top 6 run is bad news because it almost counts as double because you're conceding more points in the chase. You've got to get nearly 10 plus points from this 15. How do you see it?
Depends which way you want to look at it. You've got the fact that we started poorly, so we're chasing from here on out. We're chasing to try and get back what we've already lost. The other way to look at it is that you're away from home. Minimum, just try and get a draw.
Okay. How do you see it, Steve?
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's not exactly an easy place to come. Wycombe are playing well. I think a draw, yeah, especially away from home, yeah, it would be. Yeah, I'd take it. I said it's a must-win, but I'd take it. But
on Chris's point there in regards to need to take 8 points from 15 against the top 6 sides in the next 5, do you think 8's enough, or do you think actually you need to be getting 10 plus because you're playing catch-up? So if there's still, 6 points there left to play with, that's 6 points you're giving them, which almost counts as double at this point, because you're that far behind.
Yeah, I mean, 8. I think I'd take 8, maybe a couple of points more. I'm sort of looking at sort of how things played out in the past couple of seasons. Obviously, we were top quite a way clear at one point, and that look how that went. Was it Blackpool last year or the year before, who were right down the bottom at one stage and then shot up the league? So yeah, it does happen. So 8, I'd take. I think a couple of more would be decent though.
I'd like to know historically how often a capitulation of our magnitude happens at this level, because it was a spectacular blow, wasn't it? We were doing really well, and then suddenly we just went.
Yeah, 2 seasons in a row, almost as well.
Yeah, but particularly the first season, Neil, because obviously we were making podcasts and we were planning podcasts for the international break, and we were planning shows such as when we're promoted, who do we need to get in to further our ranks, because it was almost at one point looking a foregone conclusion. I don't think I've ever seen a team as dramatically as that team did just sort of self-combust. Have you?
No, but I don't know. The likes of Sunderland have done poorly over the last few years, and they seem to be turning it around now. So maybe we can do the same.
Okay, we've got
Yeah.
Mike the Fisherman, minimum 2 points per game as League One beckons for another season. Facebook uses confidence. What a sub bench. Ben says, let's get them early doors. As I always say, so at the first 20, start fast and score early, then go and add more, then sit back. Josh, happy birthday to Josh Russell, by the way, before I read this comment out. Is anything not a birthday game, Ben? Day before my birthday? Oh, it's day before your birthday. Well, in that case, I'll reel that back. You can have it tomorrow on tomorrow's show. We've got Rob Burnley, maximum points required, too many draws. Curtis Yates. The Blackpool comparison is a good one. They took in a manager. He managed to put them on an upwards curve. And in the Championships playoffs currently, how did you get to attempt an upward curve?
Yeah,
on,
there's some similarities in some way between Blackpool last year and ours, in that they started quite low, but they obviously then shot up, and we're sort of crawling our way up slowly. But time is going to run out.
And it is slowly, and we are hitting continuous traffic lights on the climb up the table. Whether that
we keep dropping a few rungs.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, it's Hopper 7, 15 minutes away from kick-off. Let's look at the team news tonight. Walton in goal, back four of Vincent Young, Enciala, Edmondson, and Coulson. So 2 changes to the 2 fullback positions. Neil, lots of chatter over the last 24 hours. Team WhatsApp groups that we're a part of, certainly, about the fullbacks. KVY, who was one of Paul Lambert's marquee signings, comes in. Is it a big chance for him to really nail down and give Denasian the elbows and try and put yourself in the team?
I think he's just got to last the 90 minutes, but be available next week.
Okay, so
that's his big aim. I want to see. I want to see him do well. That's a given. I want to see a bit of what we originally saw of him, but whether we will or not, we'll find out. And most of all, I want him to be available for next week.
Steve, do you think this is a good opportunity for Vincent Young to if he can keep himself fit, as Neil's alluding to there? Is it a good opportunity to force or give Paul Cook a headache?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think if you have the 2 side by side, then you'd probably go for KVY over Denasian. But Denasian this season has been absolutely incredible. I assume obviously he's still unwell,
yes, I presume so.
Soon. But yeah, this is a perfect opportunity for him because we know what he can do. We've seen what he's capable of, and it would be great, especially in a game like this, to really show what he can do. I can't see it, unfortunately, because he's not been sort of the KVY that we all know when he has played this season. But you never know; he could have been working hard on the training ground, and he could be back up to scratch. So.
This is it. I want to see a big game from him. Obviously, it's now November. We're technically 2 months away from the start of a transfer window. I'm not saying he might play himself into a move. What I'm trying to kind of say is the window's open, and if you're not in the plans and you're not seeing first team football, you will be like Drennan, like Hawkins and co. moved out of this football club now, it seems, like Downs, etc. So if you want to be here, if you want to buy into the vision they've been selling, either this year, next year, the whole package, you've got to put tonight's like tonight to good use, haven't you, Neil? And really put yourself in a window either for your manager or for a prospective manager.
Yeah, he definitely needs to. Well, all of them, as you've mentioned, they need to step it up. Anyone who hasn't been quite given it the full amount, they need to start showing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, on the other side, we've got Hayden Coulson, Neil. Matt Penny drops to the bench. Last Saturday's right winger, playing left back in his favourite position. What do you think? What do you make of Hayden?
Coulson, he was good. I was a little bit disappointed did he have an injury or something? Because Penny seemed to come in for a few games and replace him.
He did.
But yeah, Coulson is my preferred choice of the 2.
Yeah, is it your preferred choice, Steve, or do you think we've been harshly unfair on Matt Penny over the last 48, 72 hours?
No, I'll go Coulson all the way. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Penny's decent. But I think I'll still go with Coulson, definitely.
What gives you the faith in Coulson? What gives you that faith in Hayden Coulson that you like him over Matt Penny? What's he bring to the party?
I think he just offers more, to be honest. I mean, he's better as obviously on the left anyway. Penny's made a few little errors. Coulson, to me, seems more solid. Yeah, it seems like he's more reliable, really. I mean, like I say, nothing against Penny, but I think Coulson is a bit more reliable.
Do you feel he had to be dropped after Saturday's performance, Matt Penny, particularly with the mistake for the goal?
Well, it's all sort of going in with Cook's, play well, keep the shirt thing, isn't it? Really, I mean, these players have been playing so well, and they've kept the shirt, and then as soon as you make a couple of mistakes, it seems that you're dropped.
It was a bad mistake, though, wasn't it? For their goal?
It was terrible. It was, I mean, that would obviously have irritated Cook. So it's worth giving Coulson a shot there, dropping Penny to the bench. I mean, Coulson might mess up just as badly, and it could be all change again. You never know, but he's a better overall left back than Penny, so I think it's the right choice.
Do you feel, actually, in Penny's defence there, Neil, that Walton should have been giving him the old Kieran Sunday morning shout, or at least talking to him, or was it really solely on Penny their first goal?
I think we're in one-on-one situations. You can blame a man for not doing his job, but as a whole, a defence needs to talk as a unit, and if that doesn't happen, then it needs to be sorted out.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got Curtis Yates. Watched it in highlights. Another tattooist in my shop went to the game. He's a Blackpool fan. Mike D says, "How will Town cope?" And it's nice to see you, by the way, Mike. How will Town cope in the land of the Giants? Can they mix it? Can they do it at the cold Tuesday night in Wycombe? Big test of their mettle. Mike says, Lewis, sorry, miles off. Lewis said, KVY is much better than footballer over the Nation. KVY just needs to stay fit. Do you agree with that, Steve? Is KVY a much better footballer over Janoy the Don Donasian?
If you'd have asked me that this time last year, or this time last season, any time last season, I'd have said yes. But we've seen so much from Donasian this year. He's arguably the player of the season. I mean, there's a lot of players in there who can fight for that title. But I don't know now. I mean, they're two very different players. In the past, KVY would offer something Donasian doesn't, in that he would obviously push up more. But now Donasian's added that to his game as well. So I'd say they're on a level playing field at least. I mean, Donasian has done nothing wrong. So
absolutely. Curtis Yates said to Pressy, we discussed whether this team could beat the might of Wycombe. Well, Wycombe were a championship side only a year ago. So this is certainly one of the toughest tests we've faced to date, isn't it, Neil?
Yep. I know people like to look at it, they're only Wycombe, but they're a dogged side. And as you mentioned, they've also just come down from the championship. So, they're a little bit better than some people give them credit for.
Absolutely. Mike, you need to play a bit nicer. It's all about opinions. Some are left, some are right, some are correct, some are wrong. Play nice. Chris Wright, Donasian had 3 assists in 2 games recently. He certainly did. Jason Clayton. We need both players to meet in the middle. Good attacking and good at defending. Harry FC. If we do go up this season and Newcastle United go down, what a game that would be. Let's focus on Wycombe. Let's focus on getting ourselves out of this hole we've put ourselves in. 11 points behind third place now. We've spoke ourselves privately a lot about that over the last few days. It's a big hole this early, isn't it? 11 points. It's 4 games. If you get beat tonight, it's obviously then 14 points. And you've got 1 less game against Wycombe to which claw that back. Win tonight, it's not looking too bad. But it is a big hole, isn't it? 11 points.
Yeah, well, 11 points, as you mentioned, is big, but that's a lot better than having 14. So let's concentrate on this game. Just keep going one at a time and get results. That's what we need at this point. Absolutely.
A lot of love was given, Steve, to George, and I'll give him his full name. As fans have been christening him over the weekend, George Rolls-Royce Edmondson. Him and Toto have got a huge job tonight if Akin Fenway is playing. I've not seen the Wycombe team, so someone perhaps will tell me in the chat in a second. But if he is playing, he will try to bully both the centre halves. How much of a big job is it for both George and Toto tonight if Akin Fenway plays or comes on?
It's a big job. It'll be a tough test. I think they've got it in them more than enough to see him off. I mean, Toto's got a lot better recently. When Toto is going for it, I don't get the feeling that there's an imminent penalty or an imminent foul coming up. He's a lot
you've gone there, ain't you? Fuck me.
I mean, I've jinxed it now, so I've jinxed it. So 5 minutes in, 5 minutes in now, it's going to be a penalty to Wycombe, NCR, a red card. The whole lot now. It's all completely jinxed.
Get a fiver on it.
Yeah, absolutely. But these two are solid for the job, I think.
Out of all the defenders we've got at the club, I think Burgess is the best man to deal with Akin Fenway, but
He's
I
not been
think
playing, has he?
Toto, he can do a reasonable job. It's just whether the ref will feel, because it's a lot of, say, hands-on and pushing and all sorts of things going on with that style of play, and it's whether Toto gets more of whatever he does seen as a foul than the other way around.
Absolutely. Ben Moore, Vokes, and Hanlon are starting, so still a challenge. Vokes is playing, it's Ackerman off the bench, but he will come on. And if I remember rightly, on New Year's Day when they drew 1-1 with us, he came off the bench and put in a really interesting performance that day. It might have been wrong, but he certainly played, and he will bully. Jason says Burgess got bullied in previous games. Kieran says, come on, you Blues. Enciala with a donkey fell in the box tonight. Definitely, says Lewis not. Mike the Fishman. Emerson is the man to deal with Akinfenwa. Well, it'll be a big test for him, Mike. That's for absolute certain. Yes, you got Samuel Vokes and Brandon Hanlon. You got David Wheeler, Jason McCartney, Dominic Gapp's a good player. Jordan Abita, that's some of the. And I see David Stockdale in goal, Neil. Stockdale, ex-Town in goal for Wycombe.
Yeah, he is quite a long ex-Town player. So
It is quite a long. It is. You're right. But did you rate him when he was at the club?
he wasn't my utmost favourite. He was good for us, but he's not in the top, 3 that you would choose.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, no, Aaron Lee Barrett. Steve, Carl Edwards, Burton Selena, Wesley Burns. That's the 3 behind Macaulay, Hitman, Bon. Talk to me about Burton Selena playing behind the striker. What do you want to see out of Burton?
I want to see a goal. I mean, he's been under the radar largely because it was obviously a lot of fanfare about him coming here when we did sign him, and obviously the rumours earlier in the summer. He was incredible when he's been here before. I hope he can last the full game. If he can get an assist, a goal, whatever it may be, something just to let us know that he is there, because he has had a tendency to not disappear as such, but he's had oddly quiet games for Bursan. So same as Carl Edwards in a way. They're just sort of they're there, but they need to just get that little bit more,
Yeah. Carl Edwards obviously is a player that a lot of people, Steve, have said doesn't offer any end product, doesn't, gets a lot of movement, but not a lot at the end of it. Are you feeling now is that he's got to start converting and creating more? It'd be that shots on target, goals or assists. What particularly from Carl do you want to see?
I want to see a couple of assists. I'm not overly fussed about goals from him at the minute because we have got plenty of people who can put the ball in the net. Just some assists, because like you said, there's a lot of sort of fancy footwork, and he's an incredible player, no doubt about that. But yeah, there needs to be an assist. If there is a goal, awesome. But I mean, Selena was in the right place with that amazing pass from Zanasian. When he got his goal. But we need some of that from Edwards as well. Just get himself in the right place. A couple of assists. I'll be much happier. Just some kind of end product or help going forward.
Yep, Matt Stannard, Morty is the captain. He certainly is. Blue Boy, Sam, we're worried about Akinfenwa. We're Ipswich, get a grip. It's a fair point, Blue Boy, but then I could say in goals, not Bartos, Billikowski or Richard Wright. You haven't got Mowbray, Venus, McGrill. Like, you play what's in front of you. And Akinfenwa at some point tonight will be in front of us, and he will look to bully George Edmondson, who has played a handful of games, if that, at the championship level, and Toto Enciala, who I think many will say wasn't a success at a high level, was he, Neil? So it is a fair comment to be asking regarding Akinfenwa, do you feel?
Yeah, Akinfenwa's troubled, even in the FA Cup Premiership teams. So that's one way to look at it. So if he can trouble Premier League teams, he can trouble us. Absolutely.
Let's flip it to the other side then with yourself, Neil. Wesley Burns comes back into the lineup. Macaulay Bond has been quiet the last couple of weeks, and that's coincided with Wesley Burns also tailing off and then being ill and not playing.
Yep.
How important has Burns been for Bond this early part of the year? Does Bond need Burns to play well for Bond to ultimately get the opportunity to score goals?
The way Bond's sort of been playing, there's been doing a good striker role. But you need your midfield to create and get in good positions to cross and all that sort of thing to help him out. And when Burns plays, he seems to do that. And when you were mentioning it, if Edwards isn't going to get goals, it's fine as long as the likes of Burns and Selena can get some.
Nope, he's muted himself.
I've muted myself. Do
There
apologise.
you go.
Fat thumbs. Many fans are excited to see Burns back on the team sheet. As fans, can we expect an 8 out of 10 performance having been ill at the weekend? Or if you're fit enough to be on that team sheet, the expectation is this that you've set yourself. So we want to see this. Where are you?
For me, if you've made the team sheet, it's because you're good enough to give a performance. But when you're putting left backs at right midfield, you could be in any condition, couldn't you?
Oh, you could be in any condition, Steve. What do you think of that?
I'd like to see him back in top condition. To be honest, I think he's got to be doing okay. Obviously, straight back in the starting 11 as well. Not even coming in off the bench. It's a player I'd love to see in full health because he's incredible. Again, one of the players of the season. So, yeah, I think
it's one of those though. At the lower levels, you put them on because if they're not going to make it, you've
all
not
right,
wasted
let me
a
just
sub.
stop you there. The players are now leaving the tunnel. Let's have some bold predictions as we run out the show. What is our bold score predictions going to be? Neil, kick us off there, my man.
3-1 Town.
3-1 Town. I love it. Stephen Thompson, what are you saying?
3-0 Town.
3-0 Town. Okay, 3-1 and 3-0. We've had 25 likes. If we can get that to 30 by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, we'll do a half-time show of some description. I forgot to ask for the like target. We've got 2-2 Jason Clayton, 2-1 Lee Anderson. Jason says if he tries, we were on Chappers and move Cena out wide. If he tires, sorry. 2-1 Lee Anderson. 2-2 David Prince. 3-0 Alex Steele. 3-1 Harry FC. 2-1 says Lewis Knock. Lots. 3-0 says Big Bad Stewart. 3-0 Town. Love it, Stuart. How are you? Hope you're well, my man. Hope you're well. Join us on the full-time whistle for the fans react show. We will be going live with the full-time reaction. We want you to get involved with that show. We'll be back at half time if we can reach we've hit 35 likes already. We're back at half time with some description. But until then, come on, you Super Blues. Let's put out a good first half, shall we? Let's have it.